Welcome to the Owatonna Today Show, your community connection since 1991. I'm Linda Karnauskas, and I want to thank you for joining us on this Wednesday, December 7th. We have an informative show for you today. First, we'll be visiting with Dr. Barbara Otteson. She has a PhD in clinical psychology, and we're going to be talking about how to handle the holiday blues. And then later on, we're on location with Bonnie Krueger down at the Owatonna Public Library, and we're talking all about books for Christmas giving. The Owatonna Today Show welcomes your suggestions regarding show topics and guests. You can do so by contacting us at owatonnatoday@charter.net or by calling the show's producer Leanne T at 390-5751. We will take a quick break to hear a word from our sponsors, and then we'll be right back with Dr. Barbara Otteson, so please stay with us.
Advancing the common good means creating opportunities for a better life for all.
United Way is focused on building blocks for a better life, a stable income, good education, and access to health care.
Our goal is to create long-lasting changes by addressing the underlying causes of problems.
Living united means being a part of the change and taking action.
Hi, I'm Jody Voisin with the staff at Fairview Animal Medical Center, your other family doctor. Fairview Animal Medical Center is a proud supporter of the Owatonna Today Show.
If clothing catches fire, stop, drop, and roll. If your clothes catch on fire, do not panic and run. This only fans the fire. Stop where you are, drop to the ground, and roll over and over to smother the flames. Cover your face with your hands to protect your eyes and your throat and lungs from the burns. This has been a safety tip from the Owatonna Fire Department.
Hi, I'm Betsy Linger from the Owatonna Foundation. Your generosity has made Owatonna a better place to live by benefiting our community, the arts, recreation, and education. Please consider a donation today. The Owatonna Foundation is a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
Welcome back to the Owatonna Today Show, your community connection. And we want to welcome Dr. Barbara Otteson. Welcome, Barbara. How are you doing? And you had said that those of us can refer to you as Bobby.
You bet.
So we're going to refer to Barbara as Dr. Bobby for the interview.
Sure.
So why don't you share with us a little bit about who you are and what it is you do here in Owatonna?
Sure. Thank you. My husband Jim and I have a clinic called the Mill Street House, and it's a place that we created for families and children and couples. And we renovated one of the original homes from Owatonna. So it's this tiny little house, very warm, room for lots of toys, because we both work with small children. Some of my really earliest work was with very sick children who were in hospitals full-time, or children who couldn't learn to talk. But since then, we've both been in practice for many years, so we work with people of all ages. We like to do couples therapy together, and we've had a blast.
So you work from very young youth, children all the way through adulthood, and then you work with couples marriage counselors and things like that. Now, you say we, is that your...
My husband Jim and we have the same training, same basic approach.
Okay. And where did you obtain your degree for PhD?
University of Delaware.
Wow.
I was an East Coast person for a long time, and they have an APA-approved program for clinical psychology. It's one of those training programs where you learn how to do therapy, but you also learn how to do research. So,
how many years have you been a psychologist?
Gosh, I graduated when I was 30, going straight through, and I'm a lot older
years.
now.
So you have a lot of experience, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So the holidays are approaching.
Sure.
And do you find as they do, you just, some people that struggle, this is a particular time where they really have a hard time?
It's a tough time of year for a lot of people, for a lot of reasons. One of them is people who are sensitive to seasonal affective disorder suffer as the daylight gets shorter and shorter, and start to feel better when the days lengthen again. And there's some things that can be done to help with that. They can consult their physicians about that. But there's that. There's also the fact that the holidays are something that cause you to remember earlier times with people that you love that might not still be here, or people that are distant from you, or just you can count the passage of time with a birthday or a holiday or anything that happens in a yearly way.
So let's take us through, you were nice enough to bring with you some some tips on how to get through the holidays. Let's address first, how do we handle family and close friends at Christmas? There's a lot of pressure, a lot of running around, and some families are huge. So how would you, somebody who's maybe having this affect disorder or has some other issues, how would you help them get through that? And all of us who may just feel like, how am I going to do this? What are some tips that you can offer us as far as friends and family and getting ready?
Well, I think you made a good point that some people have huge families, and that's one thing I noticed moving to the Midwest. A lot of people are lucky that they do have their extended family here, and that's a built-in social network. But people who've moved here or for some reason are not in that position can get lonely and think, gee, I'm supposed to be happy, or, fa la la la, but I don't feel happy, what's wrong? And that's really hard. There are also people who feel financial pressure at Christmas. They want to give their children big gifts and feel they can't, or they measure their ability to give gifts by how much money they can spend, and that becomes a real pressure. I think it's really good to be mindful of those pressures, to spend time that you can spend with the people that you love in realistic ways, and talk to them.
Would you say being honest is the best way to go about it?
You
just
bet.
say, budget constraints this year, let's pull names. Or you know what? Would you say, let's just make the children the priority?
Exactly.
Okay.
When you have grown children, it's easier. We can say, gee, we're going to write each other love notes, or we're going to give that one little thing that we can do by hand, or and that's fun.
Let's talk about childhood experiences as well. There's those of us who've had great childhood experiences and some that have had mixed.
Sure.
How would you encourage somebody to dwell on that or to improve their experience during the holiday?
I'd really suggest people go ahead and be mindful of the fact that those memories will come. And if there's a good memory from childhood, it's a nice thing to tell a friend. I remember the way my Aunt Marjorie used to decorate this tree, and it was perfectly done, and it was tiny and blah, blah, blah. Or I remember that my mom used to make this particular kind of dessert, and that was special. Or and then you bring that into your current life. You use that one recipe, or tell that story, or sing that one song that you love. And if you have tough memories, you know that too. And you allow yourself some time to realize it. If they come up, you breathe through it, you slow down, you relax, you say, yes, that was then, and here I am now. And you think about the younger people around you now, and the children, or the elders, people that need something that you can give if you can stay in the present moment.
Okay.
So you give them your attention.
Now, all of us have had losses, and our families always change. And we all feel alone at different times.
Right.
Explain the different levels of aloneness and how we can move toward connectedness and things like that.
There was a beautiful thing that our poet laureate from Minnesota said about solitude and loneliness. And he was talking about sifting the brown seeds of solitude from the black seeds of loneliness, because solitude can be very healing. Robert Bly is our poet laureate. And he's got it going on, guys. But there are times when depression is the kind of loneliness that needs treatment. It's not just sorrow, it's not solitude. So when people are depressed, that's a different issue.
Okay. And if somebody is feeling totally alone, and really is having a bad day, and they feel unsafe in their aloneness, what would you recommend?
They call 911.
Okay.
They'll meet with a good, compassionate response.
Okay.
Yeah.
You talk about feeling, find a way to give to those less fortunate. Explain why that's important.
Because you never know what's going on for the other person, but it usually helps them if you're kind and give them a smile. It also to remind oneself that you have something valuable to give by being yourself. It's just a reminder that you're valuable. That's very good.
Okay.
Very good.
And be mindful of that, all of us, reaching out to others, correct?
You bet.
And how would you say our health figures into the holidays, our physicalness?
Well, people who get very busy and have a lot going on, even if it's a lot of fun, sometimes say later, oh my goodness, I gained 15 pounds, I'm exhausted. Terrible. So try to keep your habits going, that are the positive habits. Keep them going in your busyness if you can.
Okay. And we all have spiritual needs. So explain why that's important during the holiday season.
Well, I think especially now because there's so many different groups and different religious approaches, but I think we all want the best for each other, and we go about that in whatever way we do. So it's important that we hold each other up as individuals, practicing our own religion, and dive into it. Use it as a strength.
Okay.
And even if it's just quiet meditation, that's very important.
And is it okay for us to have our priorities in mind? Explain what you mean by that.
Well, you know how people talk about their New Year's resolutions?
Yeah.
I think part of being mindful and being kind includes being mindful of oneself and of what one can give and what we'd like to do better at, and trying to develop a compassionate attitude toward that.
Okay. And you say kindness, compassion, tenderness, equality, fairness, competition, etc. You say keep your best self. So could you explain that a little more?
I think what I mean is we know what you're asking of yourself, because we don't all ask the same thing. And some of us are just fine being Scroogey. That's who we are. If you're a Scrooge, be a kind Scrooge. Be a good Scrooge, you know?
Just be your best self.
Be your best Scrooge.
Try to put a little Santa on it.
There you go. That's exactly right.
Okay. And you know, the holidays, as much as we struggle, you know, those that struggle and all of us that have those times and want to get out, you're saying that that think about the increasing darkness, and but it's something that will reverse. So why don't you bring us through that end of it? It might be a rough ride, but now we're coming through the holidays. You can make it, so to speak. So why don't you share that?
That's right. Well, those of us who didn't grow up here and therefore don't have really good antifreeze in our veins start to get a little shaky about it when it gets really dark and really cold.
Yeah.
And that's when you say to yourself, yes, but it's going to get bright again.
Okay.
It really will.
And it will get bright again.
Yes.
So share with our viewers. It will.
It will.
Okay,
absolutely.
Great. Thank you, Dr. Bobby. It was so nice of you to come in and share. And we're all going to work at making this the best holiday season ever.
You bet.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We will take a quick break to hear a word from our sponsors, and then we'll see you out on location. So please stay with us.
Welcome to Bremer Bank. I am Jason Iberg.
And I'm Shannon Pedersen.
Bremer is a full financial services bank.
We invite you to stop by Bremer Bank and experience the Bremer difference.
You are always welcome at Bremer.
I didn't just want another job, I wanted a career. So I expressed myself.
I was new to town and I didn't know where to turn for a job. So I decided to express myself.
I decided to express myself, and they helped find the right career for me.
Express Employment Professionals is in contact with thousands of companies in need of quality employees. Come in now and get the job you deserve.
Express yourself today.
Since 1988, the Owatonna Area Business Development Center has been the part of the success of many area businesses. The center leases office space and manufacturing space and offers on-site business consulting. The Owatonna Area Business Development Center is in business to help your business be a success.
Hi, I'm Tim Anderson, the owner of Anytime Fitness, where we make getting healthy affordable and convenient. Anytime Fitness is a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
I'm Dan Branstead of Carlson Branstead and Company, Certified Public Accountants. We support the Owatonna Today Show.
Welcome back to the Owatonna Today Show, your community connection. We're on location at the Owatonna Public Library, and we're here talking to Bonnie Krueger, a reference librarian. And thank you for having us, Bonnie.
Thank you.
You always have us and keep us abridged of what's going on in the reading world, and we so appreciate your input.
Thank you.
So today we're going to be talking about books for Christmas giving. And why don't you start and tell us what's available? And then also, when you say for giving, we can read these, of course, today, and we can come to the library here and check them out. But what if we want to purchase a book for giving? Where would you recommend we go?
Well, John Meixner at Little Professor does a wonderful job of ordering books in if he doesn't have them in stock. And but this is a good way to maybe look at the book first before you purchase it for yourself or someone else to see if it's what you think you want to get.
Okay, great. Well, why don't you start us off with what we have standing here and on this series?
Okay. Well, I started, Linda, because this is the 75th anniversary of Pearl Harbor at December 7th, which is just coming up real quick.
Yeah.
1941 was the day of infamy. And of course, whenever historical things happen like that, we see a lot of publishing on that topic. So the first one today is All the Gallant Men by Donald Stratton. And this is a before told eyewitness account of the attack, and the only memoir ever written by a survivor of the USS Arizona.
Wow.
So this gentleman now is 94 years old. He's one of 6 survivors yet, but he's the only one that's told the story of what he went through. And it's pretty amazing because not only did he survive, he recovered. He fought back from becoming an amputee and everything else that they wanted to do. He actually re-enlisted, went through basic training again, went back, and served in Okinawa. So he finished the war that was started in Pearl Harbor.
As an amputee?
No, he didn't.
Oh,
he fought
okay.
the amputation that they wanted to do.
Oh, okay.
But isn't that just amazing?
That
it
is,
just gives me goosebumps talking about it.
That is amazing.
So I think this is something that's really worth reading and studying.
And for so many of us, our parents,
exactly.
We're real tied to this happening because we grew up with it. And I know my dad was and I don't know if anybody in your family was a veteran, but so we know the story, so it's important to carry it forward.
It is.
And would this be a good book for that?
I think so.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So, and then the next one I have is called Countdown to Pearl Harbor, the 12 Days to the Attack. And this is by Steve Toomey. And he's a well-known, accomplished writer. He's showing that it was a perfect storm that caused this to happen. It was miscommunication, no communication, vague communication, assumptions by superiors that actions were taken that weren't, and commanders with good intentions doing the exact opposite of what they should have done. There was arrogance, lots of it, ludicrous beliefs in the inadequacies of Japan's abilities, and it's something that we all need to learn from, and I think they did. They did very much. But the reviews I've read about it, I haven't read it. It's well written, and it's a page turner. You want to read more because of the way he's written it. So that's why I'm recommending it for anyone interested in history or in this particular date in history.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then our third one in the series that I've chosen is put out by Life, the magazine, 75 years later. And this just revisits all the famous scenes and includes stories of courage and glory, infamy, scandal. There's interviews with servicemen and women and civilians on the ground. And then it includes 18 selected pages from Life magazine that was produced in the 4 weeks after the attack in 1941. So it's just a good way to be a synopsis maybe of what that was.
Full of lots of pictures?
Lots of pictures and ads and just a variety of things.
So this might be a good book to go through with the younger generation.
Definitely.
Kind of step them through the sequence of events and what really happened, and so it hopefully never happens again.
That's for sure.
Okay. So you would say you recommend this one?
All three of them.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, great.
My next one is a little bit more on the lighter side. It's called Let's Go Fishing by Eric Drigney. It's a University of Minnesota press, so you know that it's well written. It celebrates the sport of fishing in the land of 10,000 lakes. It's full of stories from trivia to tradition. Some of the chapters are baits, bobbers, and knuckle busters, from ice fishing to dynamite, fish festivals, fish fries and fish boils, smelt, eel pout, and pickled pike. So if you have someone that's into fishing or likes to read about stories or just wants, there's a lot of pictures once again, all over the state and various time frames.
So on the scale of things, this would be a good book.
I think so.
For,
and like I said,
for fishermen?
For sure.
Okay.
If you're not into fishing, perhaps Beatrix Potter is your more of an interest to you. This is great because it's a book of her sketches and her paintings and her illustrations. And you know the Beatrix Potter books are so beautiful. There's more than 200 images from the concept art to the character studies for her books and unpublished personal sketchbook pages. She found much of her inspiration in her surroundings, so the book is organized geographically and provides a tour of the British Isles. So it's like a twofer.
Wow. And her artwork, it's very warm and inviting.
Yes, yes.
So.
And once again, you could share this with a child because they're, of course, being exposed to it at a young age.
Right, because it's on plates and different things for nurseries and whatnot.
For sure.
Okay, great.
Okay. I think Dorling Kindersley, or DK now, publishers, just have the ultimate template of how to do a book. If you've ever looked at one, just full of illustrations with description underneath, they just take a topic, explore it to all the way through, and then put it together. And it's just so visually appealing. There's one here for on the stars. So if you have someone interested in astrology, astronomy, even meteorology, I would say, this would be good. And then this one is on medicine, the history of medicine. And of course, health is such a big thing now that this would affect a lot of people. And I think it's just a good thing to, once again, all ages can make use of these.
These kind of remind me of the old encyclopedias.
Yeah, somewhat.
You know, with not that they're old, but the nice illustrations and the page layout looks like it would really just be a quick learn.
Exactly. So anyone interested can spend a lot of hours just watching or looking at these too. It's not a quick read through. You don't want to sit down with it that long. Another great company, National Geographic.
Oh yeah.
What more can I say? Known for the fantastic photography. This book is about wild, beautiful places, and it's not the normal ones. They're kind of out of the way, unspoiled spots, which is hard to find on our planet anymore. So these would be great for picture-perfect journeys around the globe, but actually there's little travel things in there if you want to maybe go to that for your next vacation, Linda.
So so these are the unexpected places, the little surprises, so that would be fun to see what's unique.
Sure, and if you can't travel, you can travel in your armchair.
That's right. Well, that's great.
Just a couple more quick things. For the quilters, I thought this was kind of unique. It's based on 14 nostalgic quilts and projects inspired by Laura Ingalls Wilder. So they're Little House of Quilts, it's called.
Oh, okay.
So we have a lot of quilters in the community.
Yes,
we
do.
Want to share that with them.
Several groups.
And then this one is called Gifts in a Jar. You know, we have a lot of people that maybe don't need things anymore, but they appreciate foods or whatever. You can put your own things together. There's cookie mixes, soup mixes, candles, lotions, teas, and more. And it shows you how to put them together and package them and make a lovely gift. So just in time if you don't know what to get for that.
So it's something you could even store like a little cookbook and bring it out every year for a new idea.
Right, and it doesn't have to just be Christmas either.
No.
We can give gifts throughout the year.
Okay, great. Well, Bonnie, what are the hours of the library, and when are these available?
As we speak, they're available. We're open Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays 9 to 9, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays 9 to 5, and Sundays 1 to 5.
Okay, so come on in and get your book out for Christmas and enjoy the holidays. And then also, if you see one of these and you'd like to purchase it, you can go to Little Professor. And then also we have coming up.
Yes, and Tuesday, December 27th from 9 to 9, and Wednesday, December 28th from 9 to 1. We're having our annual book sale.
Okay.
That's the highlight of the community.
Okay, great. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
We will take a quick break to hear a word from our sponsors, and then we'll be right back. Please stay with us.
Cedar Valley Services, located at the corner of Rose and Grove in Owatonna, provides an array of services for people with disabilities in Steele County. CVS thanks the entire community, especially our business customers, for supporting us in Owatonna for 43 years. Thank you from CVS.
Welcome back to the Owatonna Today Show, your community connection since 1991. We hope you enjoyed learning all about the books for Christmas giving with Bonnie Krueger down at the Owatonna Public Library. Now it's time for community announcements. The last date for toy drop-off in the collection boxes for Toys for Tots is Tuesday, December 13th. Trinity Lutheran Church of Owatonna is hosting a concert to benefit the Steele County Toys for Tots program on Friday, December 9th. Doors will open for the concert at 6 p.m. with the concert starting promptly at 6:30 p.m. There is no charge to attend the concert. Attendees are encouraged to bring an unwrapped gift for the Steele County Toys for Tots program or make a free will donation. Little Theater of Owatonna announces auditions for its winter comedy, Prelude to a Kiss, 6:30 to 8:30 on Monday, December 12th and Tuesday, December 13th. The show features a cast of 14 with roles for 6 to 8 men and roles for 4 to 6 women. Scripts are available by contacting Craig Bird at 507-676-0098 or Mary Butler Frazier at 507-363-2377. Show dates will be February 17th through the 19th and February 24th and 26th. You are invited to Steele County's Humane Society's Merry Market, Saturday, December 17th, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Owatonna Eagles Club. Santa will be available for pictures. Owatonna winter parking regulations are in effect for November 15th through March 31st. On even-numbered calendar days, park on the even side of the street between 12 a.m. and 12 noon, and on odd-number calendar days of the week, park on the odd-number side of the street between 12 a.m. and 12 noon. Well, that's all we have for you today, so I hope you will join us on Friday when our guests will be Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Southern Minnesota, and we're going to hear all about the 12 Kids for Christmas, and then also Daryl will be with Daryl Hill and the Christmas Bird Comp. Until then, have a great day, and we'll see you on Friday.